Well, good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, I guess I could say. We're nice in the 70s all across the upstate. 72 in Greer, 72 in Spartanburg. About same story as we go, everywhere we go, which is nice. 73 in Greenwood, Anderson, almost same story. Good evening to those. And Western North Carolina, sitting about 70s for Gastonia. As we go across the upstate in Western North Carolina, staying about the mid to upper 70s. Of course, when we come back from our break, we will time out all the latest on our rain and showers, of course, when you can expect the latest on when our rain to arrive, plus how you can prepare. We'll be right back. Well, thank you for joining us back on WFIN2 News. We are continuing to look out for our rain and when it arrives, plus how you can stay prepared and up to date. Well, over the next several hours, like we said, nice and dry across the upstate right now. But here's what we're looking at over the next several hours. Maybe possibly a shower here in the next several hours, of course. Like we said, staying dry across 8 o'clock and that tonight, which is a blessing. But, of course, we are watching potential for development for rain and showers. Of course, we have more of our rain over here towards trying to say Mississippi, of course, Jackson, Mississippi. All of this area is looking more of our rainy outlook, okay? When will our patterns show that this system will arrive at our upstate? But, obviously, this is not coming here at home. But, over the next several days, what we will see is more of our rain. And that is, of course, what we're watching, but not here. That is not the system we're watching. Like we said, across the southeast, pretty much nice. We have 77 for Huntsville and almost Chattanooga, almost same story. Atlanta, 73. As we go across the southern United States, very nice, very dry. But, of course, that round of severe weather, if and when they show up, has not yet arrived. But, of course, we'll keep you up to date as when it could shift and do all the things across here at home. I know it's not really a happy thing that everybody wants to celebrate, but hey, we need some rain. So I'm not mad about the rain coming. So that is of course something that I look forward to. So let's go ahead and take you outside to our Skycam network. Well, kind of overcast looking. That's just actually the camera view. It's not actually overcast out there, but we have a lot of slow traffic near I-85 southbound at mile marker 52. We have drivers coming this way. Those drivers are very fast, actually. But when we go up towards that's going to Spartanburg County, that's where we're seeing the slowdowns, the traffic, all of that stuff that, of course, we're watching, okay? Like we said, the traffic, all the slowdowns from all of Spartanburg County. But, of course, like we said, just very slow right now. Of course, we'll keep it to date with the rest of our Skycam network in momentarily. But until then, like I said, we are seeing some spotty showers across Atlanta, Georgia. That is kind of going to fade out. But, of course, like we said, when we come back from our broadcast, And the break, we'll show you all the latest on the breaking news for our area, plus traffic and travel times, plus going into next week, coming in this weekend, especially being Easter weekend, how we need to prepare for the rain, and if we have any. Of course, we want to be your live local independent news that you can count on for the upstate of South Carolina and Western North Carolina. This is a look right now at the Ravenel Bridge in Charleston. Very nice. Just a beautiful sight over there, of course. With our lower third, showing the Skycam network, which is nice to have on this type of day. You know, we need us the Skycam network right now. But like I said, drivers over here in Charleston County near the Ravenel Bridge are moving along like they should. Only if they could just bring that here up to the upstate. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, like I said, just a beautiful night shaping out for us. Plus, some of this week will be pretty nice. We'll have the latest full forecast on what you need to know, plus your Easter forecast coming up for this week. We'll be right back. we want to let you know of some breaking news right now. Police need your help. We do know that right on your screen is an image of, his name is, excuse me. His name is, or of course, police are rewarding an offer for a tip leading to the arrest of a 17-year-old suspect who in a fatal shooting. We said there's a reward being offered for information leading up to this man on your screen, arrest of a 17-year-old who is wanted in connection with a fatal shooting. We do know around 9 p.m. Saturday, the 28th of March. We do know that deputies responded to the area of North Pearl Street in Pageland, South Carolina, where a 17-year-old victim was found with a gunshot wound. The victim was taken to the Atrium Health in Moore, North Carolina, where he later died. Of course, deputies say that the shooting occurred at a separate location within the county, off of C.W. Baker Road. Of course, the shooting allegedly involved multiple individuals. Deputies have since identified 17-year-old Jamira J. Lockhart as the suspect responsible for the shooting. Lockhart is being charged with murder. If anyone who knows any information or the whereabouts of this suspect is encouraged to contact the Chesterfield County Emergency 911 at 843 623-6838. Again, that is 843-623-6838. That is the Chesterfield County Sheriff's Office. And of course, they do say in part, quote, that this is a tragic case involving the loss of a young life, end quote. The Chesterfield County Sheriff's Office Sheriff Cambo Streeter, of course, in quote, we are committed to bringing the individual responsible to justice and ask the public to assist us by sharing any information that you have, end quote. Well, it has officially made it to Monday. I know, the start of the week. I know. You'll be like, of course. Well, hopefully that our weather and all the traffic in the upstate, maybe it will just move along just fine, right? Because it's that time of day. Everybody's trying to get off work. The current time is 6:38. There's a lot of crashes in the upstate right now. We're going to take you to one of them right now. It is causing a major slowdown on I-85, that is 85 northbound at mile marker, or exit 54. We do know that obviously on your screen right now, we are watching the traffic and the patterns of the traffic, of course, to figure out kind of what we're looking at. Of course, a lot of slowdowns with this system, with this traffic system. It's causing a lot. This is our coming in northbound lane. And of course, it is causing a lot of slowdowns. We're not sure why, again, of course, why there are a lot of slowdowns. But of course, moving up to our southbound lanes, coming up into Spartanburg County, what appears, it looks like it's pretty clear. But of course, coming into, I don't know if that's Greenville County that we're looking at, a lot slower. Of course, that is the latest top story on 2 that we're going to continue to keep you informed about, because that is something we need to be aware of and make sure we know. We also know here on 2 News that Sora is the AI app that everybody uses to create videos and generate a lot of videos. And actually, we have an in-depth that we can show you here on 2 News. This is actually going to be on your screen. If we can, of course, get it to open up. Excuse us. Like we said, we're going to have this on your screen, potentially. Okay, yes, on your screen right now, you can see our green screen, but other than that, This is the Sora app, the app that everybody uses to generate videos and do all those fun things that everybody thinks is so fun. Well, now we know that Sora is now closing. Of course, we are not 100% sure when Sora will be ended. We do know it is coming soon to Sora. If you use Sora, they want to let you know that Sora is about done, right? I'm not actually sure how we got multiple. But yes, we do know that Sora is closing. We do not have an exact date of when Sora will be ended. We do, this is our latest update that, of course, OpenAI, who is the owner of Sora, who also owns ChatGPT, is shutting down its Sora to text to video app and API in early 2026, which we do know will not be far from now because of 2026, roughly a year after its public launch, citing high operation costs and low usage. The decision follows a drop in users to under 500,000. High consumption expenses near $1 million per day, and a canceled $1 billion partnership with Disney. We do know the shutdown timeline. We do know that the Sora app will close April 26, 2026, which is just a month away, followed by the API on September 24th of 2026. We do know, of course, with the high initial interest and call that they have to pay, of course, that is shutting down. We do know that once it is shut down, you cannot be using Sora anymore. You'll have to be forced to delete it off your phone. We also do want to let you know here on 2 News that we're following just into the studio after we do know right now that the Unity Park is now needing your help, of course, with law enforcement after 4 juveniles. We're going to have this on your screen right now. We do know that 4 juveniles were charged in a Unity Park assault to remain detained. Of course, family court and the judge rules. We do know that the 4 juveniles were arrested and charged in the reporting assault of a 13-year-old boy in a Unity Park bathroom. We do know with the bathroom will remain detained following a family court hearing on Monday. Sources inside the courtroom relied the judge's decision back to, of course, from Wfin News 4, claiming the court needed additional documents, for example, school records. Of course, to make the final decision, the group said 4 teenagers would have another opportunity to release at a hearing on Thursday. The Greenville Police Department announced 2 15-year-olds and 2 16-year-olds were arrested and charged with assault of a mob nearly a week after the report incident. The department responded to Unity Park around 7 p.m. on March 21st, determining a 13-year-old was being chased by a group and cornered into the bathroom at the Commons. He was reported assaulted and sustained multiple injuries. Videos circulating on social media show a disturbing chain of events, the teenager being battered and shoved and cornered while holding his hands up in defense. Of course, and in an only on Wfin News 4 story, they said that the victim's mother, Shamika Anderson, said her son often went to Unity Park to play basketball with friends, one outspoken and bubbly. She says her son is working to recover after his spark. In part, quote, the family crowded around to support him and said that this is a devastating to navigate. In part, quote, I'm afraid to walk out my door. I don't sleep at night, and I never lived a life like this, where I had to live in fear. No one should live that way. End quote. Of course, that is of course from Anderson, which was his mother. Of course, we are continuing to learn about this only on WFIN 2 News, which we're going to keep you up to date every step of the way as we're learning this. We're going to get videos of what you need to know and how it's going to be impacting you, and so much more. Well, let's turn now to our weather. I know it has been a nice day, and it is time to kind of celebrate. We're kind of through the week, we're getting through the week. Let's just go ahead and say that. We're not finished with the week. It's just Monday, But of course, when we come back momentarily, we'll have the latest on what you need to know, plus with your weather forecast. Well, we are officially now into our weather. It is a nice day across the Upstate Live Super Doppler 2, picking up on all of our Dopplers across the area. We do not own our own Doppler, we do not, but we are able to pick up on everybody else's Doppler and build it into one of our, kind of like our database system, which not really a database, but it brings it all together. 68 in Greenville, almost same story for Greenwood, 68, also 70 towards Augusta, Georgia, which is nice. So we're kind of, as we go, we kind of get colder and warmer. 70 across Columbia, and of course 68 across Athens, Georgia. So nice today. As the sun gets down, we're going to get colder. That's not ever the fun fact to hear about. Over the next several hours, looking like this. Continue to stay dry from the southeast, from Greenville to Spartanburg to Georgia to western North Carolina, staying dry. That's just how we are right now. Sorry, we have breaking news. Well, actually we don't. But of course there's a fire truck going down the road. But we, like I said, dry. Not any rain in sight, which is a blessing. But by 10 o'clock tonight, 11, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, do our wind shift. You can see these little tick marks, these little arrows moving up. That is our wind. Yeah, we're kind of slow. Not really much wind, which is nice. Over the next several hours, just kind of pinpointing what you can see there. It's kind of hard to tell from that. But our wind over the next several hours, let's go ahead and show you our wind. Our wind kind of picks up, it looks like. Looks like towards Greenville, Spartanburg, they start moving up a lot more. That is kind of what we're hoping to see. That's the thing. We want our wind to be kind of 7 miles, or I'm sorry, that is this thing for some reason is picking up on, it is not bringing our right wind speeds. But of course, like we said, winds over the next several hours, they kind of get up. I don't really know what this is picking up on, all of our stuff. Guys, if you could hold on. Sorry, we're trying to work out these technical difficulties. But like I said, our wind values over the next several hours, kind of interesting, right? Our wind is, okay. I'm sorry. There we go. We are back to normal. I don't really know what we're looking at with our wind. It was just not. Okay, over the next several. So this was early this morning. Over the next several hours, maybe we should move that down so you guys can see. Over the next several hours, kind of looking like this. This is good as we can kind of get it. Over the next several hours, this is looking at night or early tomorrow morning, which showing you early tomorrow morning, 5, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Winds sustained stay at 8 miles an hour. So, 2, 3 a.m. Wednesday morning, staying about that 6 miles an hour. Now, we're expecting rain for Wednesday, but 10 miles an hour for wind, 11 is a little more higher. Then we're backing drop by early Thursday morning, 4 mile an hour. So it's just continuing, but we're expecting the weekend potentially to be more of our windy days, possibly 10 mile an hour back up by Thursday night, late Thursday night, so we're going to have some gust. And then south winds coming out 2 mile an hour about Friday at 10 a.m., so lunchtime. Constrained winds, very not bad. It's just kind of staying constant across the upstate, which is good. And then Saturday being Easter, still winds at 3, 4 mile an hour across lunchtime and getting into the afternoon, 3, 4, 5 o'clock and 9 p.m. So the winds, we can go ahead and say right there, our winds get to be not bad, right? They stay pretty constant. Now, this is when we're expecting our rain to show up on the door, right? We need to kind of center this more towards the studio. This is 4 a.m. on Wednesday, so over through Wednesday, maybe some hit or miss showers here and there, potentially. This is actually going to be 9 p.m. on Wednesday. You can see a lot of Greenville County, Spartanburg County, maybe covered it, like it said, 0.9 tenths. So it like literally maybe 6 tenths. That's that tenths mark right there, tenths. Not even, or maybe hundredths for parts of Greenville County. So, like I said, potentially some rain across the upstate. Nothing much. And then, of course, Thursday, staying dry across Thursday, across Greenville, Spartanburg. Then, maybe Thursday, about 1 p.m., so maybe a little after lunchtime on Thursday, 300s across Greenville, Spartanburg. We could see some rain. Is it going to be much? No. So we kind of have our impact day more focused towards the weekend, which we'll dive into real quick. Like I said, Thursday is more of a little bit of hit or miss shower day. Then, of course, like on the bottom, it says here Friday at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m., potentially a lot more rain. Now, this is Friday when I'm watching. This is our impact day. We're actually going to place an impact day little thing on your screen. This is our impact day. Life Super Opera 2 impact day. And here's why. Here's why I'm putting that there. Because you can see there's a lot more heavier rain towards Greenwood and parts going up towards parts of Spartanburg County. That is, like I said, more heavier. More towards Greenville County, pretty much more lighter. Like I said, 0.4 hundredths, and then we're getting down to maybe 32 hundredths, close, not too close, but closer than 6 hundredths to almost a full inch. That is, of course, for Greenville, Spartanburg, when we could expect that Friday at 10 a.m. So, like I said, maybe more rain all day Friday, so Friday's our impact day. And we continue that on to Friday about 1 a.m. And then, so Friday being our impact day, it quickly leaves our upstate across Friday, Saturday, Easter Saturday, which is beautiful. Or, excuse me, Easter Sunday, Saturday you may be doing some things. Potentially some more rain, hit or miss, about 3, 4 o'clock. We're actually going to stop it on our rain hour, which is about 2, 3 o'clock. Very light, kind of misting across the upstate, so Lawrence County, Newberry, Greenville County, light misting. You don't need to worry about canceling any Easter plans or anything like that because of it. Satellite radar showing right now, satellite radar right now, like I said, just a lot more cloudy forecast, but then the clouds kind of move out of the next hour. Like I said, cloudy, but no rain in our upstate, which is unfortunate because we need that rain, but like I said, it's just going to stay the way it is. So let's go ahead and take you to our next several day forecast. But let's go ahead and take you to still watching our traffic I-85 northbound at exit 54 in Greenville County. Like I said, that's still something to watch. So like I said, still staying somewhat. You can see the traffic on the bridge is still a little heavy. So like I said, continue to monitor the traffic as you go through the upstate to this evening. Like I said, we still don't exactly know what the cause of the crash is. But just because we don't know does not mean that we gotta cancel our plans, okay? So, like I said, traffic's just gonna be a little bit slower today and potentially over the next 30 minutes to an hour is what I would expect. Nothing too major. So, click now at our hourly forecast, 7, 8 o'clock, like I said, saying about 60s, maybe eating. So we're going from 70 down to 69, so upper 60s by 8 o'clock. 9, 10, 67, and 10 o'clock down like 60s. So mainly 60s, waking up to tomorrow morning, which is going to be nice. Because we may jump down into, we may get down into the potential maybe 60s or something like that. I don't really know. But here's the latest extended day forecast. Excuse me there. Here's a look right now at our extended day. Today, like I said, staying about the 50s, upper 50s. Then we have Thursday, which is or tomorrow, Tuesday. And sit about 81, like I said, so 70s going to bed tonight, or upper 60s going to bed tonight, waking up tomorrow morning 60s. But 80 by tomorrow, that's hitting our peak with potential 21% chance of rain. Not an impact day, so don't get your hopes up if you're hoping for rain. It's not, it's potentially expected. We like to say, I'm not a certified meteorologist, but as meteorologists, they say it kind of, if it's above 40 to 50% chance likely to happen. Not as likely to happen tomorrow, but it is, the chance is there. Hold on, everyone. Okay, sorry guys, we're really sorry. Alright, sorry guys, we're back. Sorry, we had somebody knock at the door here at the studio. Let's go ahead and continue then. Alright, Wednesday we're looking about 80 degrees, 83. So, Wednesday, Thursday, 80. So, staying from tomorrow onto Thursday is more of our 80s. Friday is sitting about 76 with the potential of rain. That's more of our rainier day right there. 70 or 59% chance of rain. So that's more of our shower day, our impact day, like we said. Let's go ahead and put it on the screen. I know it's one of those times you got to put it on the screen, so it's kind of hard to see it there. But we're just gonna put it right there. Okay, that's our impact day. The impact logo's right there. Saturday, it's kind of hard to see. I'm actually going to try to figure out what that said. Oh, here we go. It was just kind of being a pain. On Saturday, we're looking like this, 79. So almost 80 degrees by Saturday. Just good. So 79 by Saturday, almost 80. 24% chance that is Easter Saturday. So Friday, if you got any plans, plan on them getting washed out. Saturday, if you're doing anything Easter related, AM clouds, like it says, sun, mainly sunny in the afternoon. Will we expect any rain on Saturday? Potentially. It's going to be kind of an exact copy of tomorrow. So if you see tomorrow that we're seeing a lot more rain in our forecast, being it's 21% chance, go ahead and plan on Saturday. Could be it too. And then Sunday, like we said, definitely watching that Easter Sunday. Whether you got church services, we got all the church services that we're going to have on our our live broadcast tonight. We've actually been rolling for 38 minutes, which is good. Hope we have some good views in there. But of course, that's the latest on our weather over the next several days, which is good that I'm able to go ahead and see that far out because it is definitely to watch over the next several days. So we're going to leave that up on the screen for a minute for you while we go ahead and tell you later. So, if you are looking for a church, which it's a lot more common being Baptist. People look for churches on Easter, right? They look for churches. They want to see, not everybody, but they want to find a church for, they want to find a church for Easter. And I think we have a website for you. Hold on. Okay. Alrighty, we have it on your screen. That is called Church Finder. Wow, I wonder what it could be, right? Well, it's a Church Finder network that we have used. And basically, you're going to type... Actually, we're going to see if we can get our... See if we can get it on your screen so you can kind of see. Okay. Let's look. So churchfinder.net, I believe, or maybe it's .com. So what you're going to do is you're going to see Church Finder. It says find churches near you. So for our upstate, what you're going to click is you're going to type in, let's say Greenville, South, or let's say Fountain Inn. And you're going to see it's going to pop up Fountain Inn SC. Go ahead and click it. And it will pull up a list of churches for Fountain Inn, which is our viewing area, part of our viewing area. That's actually where our studio is. It has a lot of churches there, which if you click on map view, it may not, okay. This is like the map view of, and that's not even South Carolina. Wow. We're actually going to get out of that. Go back to that, which... if you're going to go down Baptist, let's say you're Baptist, looking for a Baptist church in Fountain Inn. Here are your list of churches, which we do. I'm actually going to tell you which one to go to. There's a lot of Baptist churches across Fountain Inn. Barron, I think that's what it says. Bethany Baptist Church in Fountain Inn. This church is Beulah Baptist, Capstone, and Cedar Falls Baptist Church. All good churches, let's just say that. But if you're looking for, like I said, more Baptist churches, here's some more. There's Durbin Creek Baptist Church, Fairview Street Baptist Church, Fellowship Baptist, Fountain Brook Baptist, and Fountain Inn First Baptist. If you're Baptist, I do recommend going to Fountain Inn First Baptist. That's where you'll find me. But in that, it is a good church. Ultimately, so if you're looking for any Baptist churches or anything like that for Easter, churchfinder.com is the ultimate place to look. But before we get too carried away, let's look at our traffic right now across the upstate. Skycam Network has been working its tail off today. This is a look at our traffic right now across the upstate. A lot more slower traffic. Now it's more heavy. I'm not really sure why it's at heavy, but Of course, like we said, coming in, I believe, to Spartanburg County, and that's going out to Greenville County, I do believe. Spartanburg County, at this time anyway, 7:05, rush hour, kind of later hours of rush hour. Yes, it gets slow as it is. So coming into Spartanburg County, make sure you are kind of using the faster lane, which is your far left, right beside this semi truck. That's your faster lane. I'll be using that one right now. I'm not really sure about the others. It's just kind of hard to see across the upstate. This upper or coming into looks like Spartanburg County or Greenville County, excuse me, not looking that bad. So fortunately, we do have a green screen now. If you did notice, like, hey, why are they pointing at a wall or pointing at traffic? And yeah, well, we have a green screen now. But here's what we're looking at: a crash. Latest update was 7:04 today. That's the latest picture. We don't really know why there is a crash, but we do know there is one. We've been following it for about 30 minutes to an hour, or probably 30 minutes, a good 30 minutes. But hey, that's a nice view right there. I-85 northbound to exit 51. Drivers are going fast. I don't really know what. I think this is just the camera lens kind of showing off there. But traffic across the upstate not looking bad. Let's go ahead and take you to the beach. If you're just joining us live, thank you. We really appreciate it. And you leave. It's okay. But let's go ahead and take you to the Ravenel Bridge in Charleston. This is a beautiful scene. Reach the beach. That's one of our slogans we kind of just came up on. Reach the beach here at Wfin 2 News. Reach the beach, touch the sky from the upstate to the coast. Looking very nice across Charleston County, South Carolina. Ravenel Bridge, which is a very big bridge. That's the one that I believe that rises up. Looking nice, which is good. Traffic across there, pretty nice. When we come back from our break, our last look at weather plus any more top and breaking news that comes into the studio. We'll be right back. Well, one upstate church is gearing up for Easter, and this church is Bible Baptist Church in Simpsonville, South Carolina. We do know that Bible Baptist Church does this every year. It's actually on your screen. As they call it the living, just basically a living version of Easter. Well, they actually have 3 guards, like on your screen, that do not move. I believe they have some to interchange for restroom breaks, but other than that, the guards don't move, which I think is crazy. But actually, they have a real life simulation. Well, more than a simulation, I guess you could say. It is next to Chick-fil-A in Simpsonville, the new Chick-fil-A that's kind of newly built. But of course, they on this when the time comes, that someday I do believe, the guards actually when they figure out the stone is rolled away, and all you'll see is a white cloak in there, which is really cool. It's actually a actual living kind of version of Easter. And it's a good representation, actually. Another church Fountain Inn First Baptist Church at Christmas time in the 2009, they did something called a living Christmas tree, which is almost the same story. But living Christmas tree at Fountain Inn First Baptist Church had many choir members sitting inside the tree itself, the custom-made tree that fit in the huge sanctuary, the tall sanctuary they have. And actually, it was really cool. I was actually there. I was like a year old when that happened, but I do vaguely remember something about it. It was probably 3, maybe. But it was really a good experience to kind of see. So I think that was really cool. But I feel like anything living to me, like living Christmas tree, like the performance they do, like the living Easter kind of story, it's just kind of special. So I feel like if you want to do something with your kids, definitely do that. It is definitely well recommended. But let's go ahead and take a look right now at our weather before we end off tonight's broadcast here with WFIN 2 News. Obviously, right across the upstate, nice and dry right now, and dry at home, which is great. In the next several hours, like I said, continuing to stay nice, but over the next, like I said, over the next day or so, Friday I would expect to be our impact day, being that it's mainly a rainy day out there. Thursday, like I said, 1 p.m. Potential rain, not much, going to be kind of scattered showers, and then looking like Friday, a lot of noon on Friday, 6 a.m., 8 a.m., waking up Friday morning. This is going to be the picture you're going to see across the upstate. Whether you want to see rain or not, it's potentially coming. That is going to be our impact day. It's going to keep you up to date and on the move for Friday, so you don't kind of get behind, getting ready for school and stuff. Get the kids ready. Like I said, it's something good to kind of know that, hey, we're not sure how heavy it could be. That actually, this little bar, which you can't see, which is terrible of us, that bottom bar you're kind of seeing right where my hand sits, that is more of not the heaviness scale. That is more of our actual how much we get, like how much we're going to see, like the scale of how much we're going to see. So potentially more of 1100s, 0.1100s, and then potentially getting up to 3900s, kind of depending on where you go across the upstate. But like I said, it's going to be more of our impact rain day. Nothing set in stone. Of course, it can change. Remember, we do have some more broadcasts coming up before Easter. We want to thank you for watching WFIN 2 News, who is the leader in independent live local breaking news for Fountain Inn, based here in Fountain Inn, which is amazing. We're not been awarded and we're nothing like that, but we are kind of calling ourselves the leader because we have main news like WIFF4 and Fox Carolina. Those are like big news. We're independent live, and so we call ourselves live local independent news. WFIN, thanks for watching. We want to make sure that you know that weather and traffic is always available on our YouTube channel. All you got to do is stream in like you stream into this. You have weather, traffic, sports. We're trying to get back sports, but make sure you know that, hey, we got sports, weather, traffic, and breaking news all on the twos, which we consider it. We get 30 minutes and more on each show that we do. So thanks for watching WFIN 2 News, live, local, independent news. Get live, local, and independent news sent straight to your phone. Download the WFIN 2 News mobile app and subscribe on YouTube.